Join us at a Friends of NRA event where freedom, fun, and firearms come together like nowhere else. With more than 600 events held across the country, there's always one happening near you. From exciting games to exclusive auctions featuring one-of-a-kind firearms and gear you won't find anywhere else. Whether you're a lifelong hunter, a competitive shooter, or simply passionate about defending freedom, there is a seat for you. Visit friendsofnra.org to find an event near you and get ready for a night you won't forget.
USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Learn more and get a quote at usaa.com/bundle. Restrictions apply.
At Midway USA, we put customers first. The Nitro Express shipping system is icing on the cake. It was a big investment of time and money to take super fast, low-cost shipping to a whole new level. The Nitro Express helps ensure same-day shipping and low shipping costs. We hope you enjoy the Nitro Express. We built it just for you. For just about everything for the outdoors, go to MidwayUSA.com.
I'm Larry Potterfield with Midway USA. Thanks for your business.
Bill Nye, the Science Guy.
Well, I guess close enough. I mean, Ryan Nye, the fishing guy. Well, guys, welcome back to the Outdoor Drive podcast.
Oh, we're recording?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Send it, dude. Why not?
Baby, let's go.
What else is better than this? Oh, well, we welcome you guys back here to the Outdoor Drive. It's your boy East Coast Trev, and I'm joined with the madman himself, not the science guy, just Madman Mardik. What's up, dude?
What up?
Finally a temp break in the weather here, dude. It's been kind of nice, to be honest. It was like straight dead of summer to I feel like we should be in a deer stand tonight.
It's October outside right now.
Dude, it's crazy. Like sweatshirts and sweatpants, like it's nuts. I'm blown away. If it wasn't raining, I'd be probably outside, but it's just trashy rain. So, but has activity been good for you on the trail cameras? It's been a little slow on my end, dude. I don't know.
It's been a little slow. It's hit or miss. I got a few more out last weekend. Yeah, nothing to brag about, but I'm not worried either. Like it's just kind of like it is what it is, you know.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing too is, we set our trail cameras for that October, that switch, right? That summer to fall switch, anyway. So like to have it dry now is not a huge deal, I guess. I'll get nervous if it's September and that doesn't, and we don't have a lot on camera, but I don't worry about that.
Yeah, the only thing I'm slightly nervous about right now is I was in the woods last weekend, and dude, I'm not seeing any acorns.
I was gonna ask. Yeah, that was my question. I didn't see very much neither.
Typically, as a rut hunter, that's a good thing. Because deer got to move more. They're on their feet longer. It just screws them all up, and a lot of deer die when there's no acorns, right? Because there's not food everywhere like there was last year.
Right.
When it comes to early season trail camera activity and pinning them down, it gets a little bit more challenging, especially being like a public land hunter, where we're pretty much, we don't have ag or anything fancy like that, right? You're pretty much stuck to hills and valleys and swamps, and oaks are going to be your primary food source. When you don't have oaks, it can be challenging, like I said, to pin them down. Once the rut comes in its full swing, it's better.
It's anybody's game, right?
Early season can get tough.
Yeah. And it's especially a lot of the areas that I've targeted in the past are oak driven. So, like, right now, for them to be dry, like, you're like, oh, well, I know what's not going on right now. And, like, you go through some of those oak flats, and typically, I know, like, last year to this year, going and hanging this one specific camera, like, the place was tore up, bro. Like, straight tore up. And I was like, oh, game on. And this year, not so much, dude. And I'm like,
Well, you know what it is it's similar. It'd be similar to, like, how our Midwestern buddies have to hunt crop rotation.
Yeah. Yeah.
They might have soybeans one year, the next year it's corn, or like Ryan down in Georgia, he's peanuts one year, cotton the next year, corn the next year, back to cotton, back to peanuts, right? And he's on like a three-year loop. It's similar to us. It's just good acorns, no acorns, medium acorns, and you got to know what you got to know based on what rotation you're on.
Yeah, you just gotta hunt it hard or do a little bit more moving around and put cameras in other places to see what's going on. And it's frustrating. It can be defeating for sure. For if you don't have those areas, like we obviously know or have a good idea, like okay, well this isn't gonna work for us here, so now we have to go try this other spot that was good at this one time. I don't know. These years are those years that are tough for.
I think all in all, you're better off not having acorns because when you do find the deer, you're going to find the deer.
Mhm.
They're more concentrated. When there's acorns everywhere, like last year, the deer are everywhere. They're really hard to really get on.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, early season, no acorn deers really scare me because I don't have ag. So
Yeah.
in my head, I'm like, they're all on ag, which is all private. I'm not there. There's really nothing I can do. Like I can't get any closer to the deer, right? And like the other thing I noticed too, a couple spots, the corn seems really inconsistent this year. Where there's some
Super.
corn that's like 10 feet high, ready to come off already, and then there's other places where like, dude, it's like shoulder high, chest high corn with no tassels yet or anything, and I'm like, dude, that corn is either going to come off super late,
Right.
or it might not come off at all.
Yeah.
And like depending on how close it is to like where I plan on hunting, like I want that corn to come off fast. Faster it comes off,
because them deer are living in it.
right? So, that's the other problem with like bouncing around and always like trying out new pieces of public. If it's a new piece to me, I don't have like multiple years of history to pull off of.
Mm-hmm.
So, and another reason why I should probably keep a journal. But so like last year, big buck I was after, he showed up. First time I ever saw him in my life on camera was September 2nd. I would like to know when the closest corn came off last year.
Right. Especially if
Did the
he's
corn
living
come
in
off,
it.
and
right.
that's why he showed up?
Mm-hmm.
So now if he doesn't show up this year when he's supposed to, and there's still standing corn down the road,
Is he going to show up October 2nd?
I don't. What if the corn doesn't? Like, there's just
Yeah.
so many variables, man, and you can't control them. And
Well, that was the thing with summer scouting for me was like you drive around it and you're like, 4th of July, the corn's not knee high, right? And like that was like one of those things that they would then be first cut. Like that's one of those like farmer things. Like if the corn is knee high, then that's by 4th of July, it's first cut because by the time it's time to cut, it's going to go. And then the other thing that's variable too, though, have to remember too, is what are those farmers using it for, right? Just to think of the farmer's standpoint, it's like, are they using them for wet silage or dry silage, but we kind of religiously know these things, studying them, or if we had, I don't know. It's a tough variable, and you just kind of.
It gets different when you get out of your home core area, right? Like just like bucks, we have a core area too, right? If I'm in my hometown on my home turf and the back roads that I've driven my whole life, I can look around and be like, oh, that's about normal. That's normal. Yep, that's farmer so and so. That's all silage. Then you start branching out into like new areas to hunt. I don't know what these hunters or these farmers do. I don't know what they plant for. I don't know when they usually cut or what they cut or why they cut or. So this farmer usually leaves it standing all winter. This farmer usually cuts early. Like I don't know all these things.
Right.
So these are things that take a couple of years to kind of pattern your farmers too, right?
Yeah, and so that's one thing that's nerve-wracking for me myself, and I haven't put too much time into it, and I think in the next couple of weeks here I'm going to have to do a lot more of it, is like I've gained a ton of agricultural that's all corn. And like I don't even know what to do. Like I've drove up there, but you can't see shit, so you don't know. Like you drive around and you're like, yeah, there's corn. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I never hunted like this.
Yeah.
I don't.
I got a former corn specialist that I took scout with me the other day to like point out the tassels to me and all that stuff. And like, I'm learning my corn, dude. I'm gonna be a corn specialist.
Yeah, I'm gonna need help on it.
Corn. I hunt across the street.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it's a learning curve, right? Like I don't know. It's tough, and you just kind of just grin and bear it and just go for the best. And I'm not worried. When it comes down to it, like we say, killer's gonna kill, dude. It's just you just put in the time, put in the effort, and you're gonna make it work. Like it is what it is. So,
Sunday was a big day, huge day in the Bardick household.
Yeah, why?
Dad, new stand, We moved his stand.
Jesus, it's been in the tree for 25 years.
Yeah, we moved it 20 yards to the next closest tree to the one he was in last
What
year.
was the one that he was in dead? Like, what happened, dude?
No,
Like,
he liked it, but I think he only liked it because of the success he's had off it, right?
Right.
Like if you got success, like what you ain't gonna fix what's broke. I didn't like it, or you've been there to it
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
It's like kind of on a little knoll,
yeah.
and like it was, to me, because I've sat on it a couple times. It's like it was like kind of leaning forward, and because it was like downhill in front of you, like you always felt like if I put a ladder stand in, if anything, I like to kick the ladder
Lean
forward
back,
a little
yeah.
bit, so you're kind of lean back a touch, and that felt like you were constantly leaning forward, and it was like an old school, like remember when like Walmart used to sell Ameristep ladder stands for like
yeah.
$80?
Oh, yeah.
Just
They went to ground blinds because they got sued too many times. No.
platform for your feet, platform for your ass, no shooting rail, no sidearm rails, no nothing.
The black ones, yeah.
So no, this is green. But anyways, it was leaning forward, dude, and it felt so small. It just felt sketchy, man. Especially like for me, I'm all right, but like I always thought about my dad. Like he's a bigger dude. Like he's not like I'm like, dude, you're comfortable in this, and he's like, I love it, man. I love it. That's good. That's a good stand. That's a good stand. So anyways, I finally convinced him to. We went up to Cabela's after Christmas, and he bought a big game one and a half or whatever it is, 1.5 man. Which, dude, they're like Cadillacs, man. They got the mesh seat. The seat flips up. It's got a shooting rail. It's got a footrest that flips down.
Oh, he's never going to leave the place.
Just spend the money, man. Like, you only sit so many times in the same tree. You might as well have a good place to go, right? I don't know. I like that. I'm like, dude, we're just going to move it over one tree. You're going to see all the same stuff. You're just going to have a better view and you're going to be more comfortable. So, dude, it took some arm twisting, let me tell you what. Then I finally convinced him into buying the stand. And I think he was still apprehensive as far as, like, committing to the move. But finally, and, dude, I'll tell you what, that stand is not light, man. Like, hauling that bitch in there was,
So my question is the old stand still in the tree so his old ass can go still jump up in it? Yeah, that's what's going to happen. You know it. You know it, too.
Dude, there's another stand like over his shoulder, a couple 100 yards on an old beech tree, and actually it's on an oak tree, but there's like a beech tree right there. So like when you're in it, you're strapped to an oak tree, but you're surrounded by beech. Dude, I can't tell you how many deer have been killed out of that ladder stand, but it finally like shit the bed, and you just abandon it. You just leave it there. So every time you walk by, you like look at the old tree stand, you're like, oh dude, that thing's been there like 30 years, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, big day, dude. Dad's got a new tree stand in a new tree, just sitting there ready for
opening day. Is gonna be in the old one. I know. You need to go.
What way the wind's blowing? Doesn't matter what the barometric pressure is, or the moon phase, or nothing.
You need to go take the straps out the old one so he can't get his ass up in it, dude. Jesus. That's good for him, though. I'm glad. He'll probably shoot the biggest buck of his life out of it because he made the move, and then he'll actually move his stands everywhere.
Yeah. So yeah, big day, big breakthrough in the Marduk household.
It's funny though. Like if you think about it, like yourself did the same thing I did. Like you hunted with your old man in that same stand, no matter what the wind was, and then you kind of made that switch and started mobile hunting. And you're like, oh, now you have this whole different outlook and this whole different perspective on what to do and how to do it. Right? Like you spent 20 years going to the same spot to the same stand for forever, and it's nice to be able to go and see different things, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, so I have a stand on that property too. I don't hunt it a ton. Little early season when the oaks are good. It's on a good little oak flat coming out of the swamp. And there's a new kid. I think I talked about it on the podcast.
We did last year.
There's a new kid that's hunting the property. He got permission from the landowner, like whatever. And he put a tree stand in like, dude, I don't know. I think he's like 40 yards from my stand. And it was kind of like one of those like, dude, what the hell? Like, you really? Like, these are two permanent stands, right? Oh, well, yeah, I saw that tree stand, but it looks old. I didn't think, bro, that stand's been in the woods longer than you've been hunting. Like, it's not, it's old, but it's still functional. And I still sit on it every year. And I killed a deer out of it last year. Just because it looks old to you, it's vintage.
Yeah, whatever.
But like, give it a shake, dude. That thing's rock solid. That
Right.
thing's not going anywhere.
That's because it's grown into the tree.
Hell yeah. But like,
Those are the best
don't
ones.
sleep on the paint job, buddy.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you see the blood on the reins as they go up, dude? Leave it alone.
just because it's not shiny and new, like, you know, your new tree stand, but like that thing's got some years on it, buddy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I had to go over there too and check that stand, give it a little shake test.
Yep.
Yeah, she's solid.
She's in. She's ready to go. Some of those are nasty. Last year, I went to an old tree stand that I used to hunt, and my dad's like, "Yeah, your stand's still up there." And fucking good thing I brought a saddle, dude, because I thought I was gonna die. It was old as shit, about falling out of the tree. But those are the good days. The gooden days.
Good days are coming too. Everybody's starting to post their trail camera pictures on Facebook. Like, oh, I hope he sticks around. And I'm just clicking on the profile. Like, ooh, what town does he live in?
The past 15 years, they haven't stuck around. This year, they're not gonna stick around. Guess what? Unless you're a corn killer, dude, they're not sticking around.
He lives there. Okay.
I tell you, it's funny. I was having a couple of different conversations. One of them being Champa when we were at Huntstock, and we were talking about it, and how many town pages get big deer killed is outrageous, because a lot of people will post them, and same thing happened in my hometown. Kid posted up big buck in his backyard. One of my buddies went and looked up his name and found out where he lived. Well, he went and got permission and ended up killing this buck. Was 150. Like, it just happens.
Dude,
that's the way it goes.
I would be lying if I said I haven't punched in a couple names on Onyx to find out where they own property.
Even people from the hunting page, I do it. You kidding me?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, they'll post it on CT Hunter. I'll look them up, see what town they live in. That's not far from me. Find them on Onyx. Like, oh, okay. Honestly, it's never led to anything. Like, it's usually not close enough to public or anything like that. But I'd be lying if I didn't check.
I've done it turkey hunting and seen guys post up turkeys and be like, "Oh, dude, they got public right there." Just because it's a little bit more. I've gone there and definitely checked it for sure. It because guys will post up and be like, "Oh, these turkeys are in my backyard every day." Well, hey, idiot, there you go. You live 2 minutes from public. Them birds potentially could be on fucking public. So you just got them killed. Nice job. But no, it's just kind of funny.
Well, you never post a trail camera picture of a deer that ain't dead.
Never. You'll never see the cards. It won't happen. Well, man, I guess we talked the ear off on deer hunting, but we're gonna break it into some bass fishing. We got Ryan Nye, the fishing guy, coming in to join us this episode and talk about bass tournament fishing, kayak fishing. It was cool. It's cool. I've watched Ryan grow into what he is today. Over the years, I've known Ryan majority of my life. His brother was good friends with my brother growing up, and Ryan's a little bit younger than me. But just watching him and doing his thing, we can't wait to get him on. But before we do so, we got to go through our sponsors and kind of give some love to those guys. I do want to start off, honestly. What is it?
I was just going to say that's another thing that I got into this week was like, I started getting the gear out heavy, dude. Like, got out. Well, we're gonna go through them here in a minute.
Yeah,
but like, got both my saddles out. Last time I really played with them was when we did the seminars at Mohegan. So like, I made sure I had a linesman in each one, a tether in each one, a gear strap. Went through each one, rolled them all up nice, put them all in, put the saddles away. Went through my backpacks because I use my backpacks for various reasons throughout the year, right? And kind of like emptied my 22 out, got it ready, like it's that time you got to start packing shit, getting shit ready to go,
Don't be a last minute Nelly, dude. You don't want to be that guy. That's not the guy to be.
And shooting too. You know what the thought that crossed my mind the other night? So like my favorite time to shoot is like that last hour before dark, right? Like 7 o'clock till dark. I'm always in the backyard shooting every night. And I would imagine most guys are the same, right? It's the coolest part of the night. It's the time of the day that you're more likely to shoot a deer is going to be that last hour or whatever, right? So I'm shooting the other night and I'm like, I wonder how many other guys are doing this exact thing right now.
25%.
Really? You think so?
I think so. It's funny is because spending a lot of time in a bow shop, and you kind of realize how many people are last minute. Go to the bow shop a week before season, and see how many guys don't even have their bow ready. But I
Dust
think some of the
bunnies or something like that.
huh?
Halls calls them dust bunnies, I think.
Yeah, because I think we all want to, and we all want to be those guys that are out there shooting at the same time. But I think is a lot of people, they don't do it, dude. I really don't. I think there's a handful of hardcore guys that do it, but I don't. I would hope that there's more than what I think there is. That I would say that for sure.
You know what I was thinking of? I don't know if you know this, but like, do you know like the whole story between like Cam Haynes and Goggins, with they spot check each other?
No.
So like they'll just show up in like their home, like Cam will show up in like Vegas and be like, "Yo, spot check, motherfucker, what are you doing? Like, let's go, and they'll go like run a marathon, like on the spot. Like, you ready?" So like I was thinking about it the other day, I was like, I wonder if I spot checked everybody right now, like who's shooting their bow right now on a Tuesday night at 7:30. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I think I would just hope that it's more people than it actually is, right? And I think if there is a handful of guys, for sure, there's definitely a bunch of people, and they all should be out, especially that last light, dude. You know what happens in that last 30 minutes, bro? That shit can get weird quick.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely one of those, for sure. But no, you definitely should be stretching out the old Latitude saddle, dude, and getting those things put together. Not doing it the week before season, or trying to learn how to climb a week before the season. We've all been there, but now's the time to prep it and get it going. So, huge shout out to the dudes at Working Class Bowhunter, man. I can't say enough for that Unhinged. Have you got over and watched any of those series
I watched
yet,
them last night,
dude?
I watched Kurt's Velvet Buck in Kentucky, and I watched
Eric's in
they
Kansas.
started in Georgia and they ended up in Kansas in the same video, I believe.
Yep. Yeah, it was super cool. And then they had all the Africa ones. If you guys get bored, you guys want to watch something before the season and kind of pump you up, make sure to go check out the boys from Working Class Bowhunter, the Unhinged series, and go and buy a T-shirt, dude. I went in there and there was a T-shirt that I don't have, and I went and bought the T-shirt.
Which one?
It was stop poaching. Or stop poachers. Yeah, I had to have it, dude. I had to. Kurt had posted it up, and it was like a limited thing, and I'm like, dude, how can I not have it? I have his other one. Why I need that shirt. So use the old promo code Outdoor Drive and got me one of those. There's a ton of good stuff. They have a new kill bottle coming out soon. So make sure to go check those boys out. Give them a listen. Some really good podcasts. They just did one with Seek One, and they just got so much good stuff going on over there. So make sure to go check those boys out. And then Latitude Outdoors, latitudeoutdoors.com. Make sure to use the promo code Outdoor Drive for you guys looking for extra ropes. The Ranger 33 is in production.
It's out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's in production.
Release. Yeah.
And then the oh my God, I'm losing my mind here. Yeah, the Method 3. I almost said the Maverick 3. The Method 3.
Operator pouches.
Yep, the new pouches. There's a ton of great stuff. So make sure to get on over there and check those guys out if you need some last minute stuff.
You know what I'm thinking about doing with the operator pouches?
What's that?
I'm not positive yet. I'll follow up probably maybe by next week sometime. There's on the Ranger 22 and the Ranger 30, maybe the 11 too, but definitely the 22 and the 33 on the hip belt for the backpack.
Yeah.
There's big molly webs on the hips.
Oh, put like a rangefinder in them or something.
I think about putting the operator pouch on one hip, if not both hips. Yeah, like you said, rangefinder, binoculars. I usually wear my binoculars in. Right, and I only carry, you and me both. We carry those little 10x32s.
Yeah,
and I usually carry them in. But whatever, dude. Like I don't like sometimes climbing and doing all that stuff. Like I don't want them on me, so I'm thinking about putting them on my hip in the operator pouch on my backpack. That just gives me two more big pouches on my backpack. Quick 100%. Access.
Yeah.
Right. Release, headlamp, rangefinder, binoculars, whatever, and then run my regular dump pouches on my saddle like I always do for my ropes.
Yeah.
So unconfirmed. I'm not positive I'm going to do it yet, but stay tuned because I've got the operator pouches in my possession, but I think I'm going to wait for the 33 to show up before I put the operator pouches on that.
See what happens. Yeah. Huntworthgear.com. Get more for less at Huntworth. If you're looking for some early season stuff, some of the best stuff on the market, make sure to go check those guys out. Fourth Arrow Camera Arms. If you're looking to film, even from the ground, in the blind, shooting sticks, anything like that, the boys got it all over there at Fourth Arrow Camera Arms. And then our boys over at Fatties, Mr. Aaron Satterfield. If you're looking to shoot things in the face, go and check out Mr. Aaron Satterfield. You know, there's always coyotes that need to be shot during predator season and all that good stuff. He's got it all. And then for you duck hunters, always making the waterfowl loads. So go and check him out, saddiesllc.com. So we appreciate all of them, all the good stuff they got going on. And
Did you say Bowtech?
yeah, they were first.
Sure.
Yeah, I think so. Or did we just lead into it? Well, Bowtech, everyone knows we shoot a Bowtech, so just go shoot a Bowtech.
Though my Bowtech is shooting probably the best it's ever shot right now. No, I'm serious. Like, I love that
new
bow.
strings, new everything. The thing is tuned.
Roger just set me up. I put new strings on it. I just got it back from my hunt stock. New strings. I had a buddy Seth over at Bow Daddy Arrows make me some new. I'm shooting the Victory HLRs this year. Dude, it's shooting so good right now. So good.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's a combination of like just a good bow, new strings. The arrows are phenomenal, dude. Like, they're just,
I know.
I'm excited. I'm super excited.
I had talked to Seth about making some arrows and never circled back on it. And I failed. I failed at that. Thank God I have a decent set, but next year I'm definitely going to have him do it. Maybe even during season, but.
Yeah. I texted him the other night when I was shooting. I was like, dude, I think these are the best arrows I've ever shot. And he's like, seriously? And I was like, yeah. But, like, I don't think it's just the carbon. It's like they're custom arrows. Like, he takes his time and makes every single arrow absolutely perfect. And, like, maybe it's mental, maybe not, but, like, dude, they fly so true. Like, dude, like, I got a heart
it's
on,
a good,
dude. I can't wait.
It's a good confidence booster, too, to have stuff like that. So that's super awesome, especially to be just thinking, you know, when you let that thing rip, that it's going to do exactly what you want it to do and cartwheel shit. So that's awesome. Well, guys.
I'm fired up.
I can bet you are. I can tell. You're drooling. No. Well, guys, make sure to tune in next week for another great podcast. And until then, we appreciate you all. And let's turn this mic on over to Ryan.
The Outdoor Drive Podcast.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Outdoor Drive. We got Ryan Nye on. Ryan, how we doing, buddy?
Good. How are you?
Good, man. Appreciate you jumping on. I know you probably should be out fishing or pre-fishing for some tournament or something crazy, but
yeah, no, thanks for the invite, man. It'll be fun.
Absolutely. So why don't we kick this thing right underway? Why don't you tell everybody who you are, where you're from, and a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, so my name is Ryan Nye. I'm from Coventry, Connecticut. I live in Andover now, but I competitively fish out of a kayak. Been doing it since 2018. Started kind of at the local level in a sit inside paddle kayak, kind of the kayak that everybody has, and just kind of built my way up. And I'm currently fishing. I still do a lot of local stuff with Slay Nation, and then I fish the Bassmaster Kayak Series National Trail. So travel all over the country fishing out of a plastic boat.
It seems as if it like kind of blew up for you pretty quickly. How did that all occur? Because you weren't really a big fisherman before, right? I mean,
a little bit. I grew up on a lake or close enough to a lake, like in an association where I had access to a lake. I'd go down there and fish all the time, like not know what I'm doing, but like through middle school, high school. Then I kind of got out of it for a little while, and then got a kayak and started looking for tournaments, wanted to compete, wanted to kind of see how I compared to others. Got a little sit inside and jumped into a local trail that had probably 10 or 15 guys. And I actually won my first kayak tournament I ever entered. And I was like, oh, this is the deal. Like I won like $250 and I was like, oh, I could just make money on weekends fishing. Like this is awesome. And then I got my teeth kicked in for probably about 2 years and started doing okay locally, and then jumped to the national scene, I think 2020, which obviously COVID, maybe 2019, I jumped to the national scene right before the whole COVID thing, and then COVID kind of shut it down. And we still had some events, but then just kind of kept pushing, kept chipping away. It does happen quick. I had some success early. With KBF was the first kayak bass fishing, was kind of the first thing that I did. They had some regional stuff, was doing okay in that. And then they do like online monthly things, and you could kind of be in a tournament all the time. So just put myself on the water as much as I could and started traveling, and yeah.
So let's start back at the beginning. So like when you're in the local level and you're fishing those bass tournaments and you kind of get into it, and especially being under, paddle drive, I would say you're not really, you have to set yourself to fish a little bit differently, right? Because you can't get into a big lake and just go to the other end, or like how does that work?
Yeah, no, time on the water, especially with like the smaller lakes, obviously the local trail, like we didn't go to like Candlewoods or anything like that. Most of them you could fish around it in a day, but you still, after the first hour, you're fishing behind people the rest of the day. So you need to have different techniques, different areas, different things to look for, especially with the paddle kayak. Like that is such a challenge to be good at. Fighting wind, fighting current, fighting everything, trying to do paddle strokes to move while you're also casting. And but yeah, I guess just, and even still, you just have to have confidence in the area you're in is the big one. We, like you said, we can't just run across the lake. Like if you want to go from here to the other side, you're talking, that's an hour out of your tournament. In a bass boat, it's 30 seconds.
Right.
So yeah, you have to pick areas apart. You have to make every cast count. Like when you're gonna move, you have to be committed. Like you can't be moving and stopping and moving and stopping. Like you just got to do it. So yeah, decision making is important in any fishing tournament, but in the kayak world, I think it is definitely multiplied.
And like, so there's obviously a different, because do you still have a 5 fish creel limit when you're tournament fishing out of a kayak, or how does that work?
Yep. So we have, there's a couple companies that make them. Hog Trough was the first one. Now Catch Products makes one. Bubba makes one, but it's just a measuring board. So like the morning or the night before, the morning of the tournament or the night before the tournament director will send you a code. So like, for example, the Slay Nation event I just did, you get to the ramp, you pay your entry fee, and they're like, all right, the code for today is C8 or CR8 was ours over the weekend. So you can write it on your hand for local tournaments. In the Bassmaster tournament, they give you an identifier, but that needs to be in each photo. So you put the fish on the measuring board, you have your identifier code, you take a photo of it, and then you submit it on an app. We use Tourney X or Fishing Chaos. There's 2 different apps. I think most of it has kind of gone to Tourney X at this point, but you submit them on there, and then if you catch, you submit your first 5, you catch a 6th one, it will automatically call your smallest fish, and you just keep snapping pictures. So it's just catch, photo, release. Gets the fish right back in the water. We're not live welling them. We're not tying them up. We're not doing any of that. So it's probably better for the fish than running around, especially this time of year when it's 90 degrees outside. We're not putting them in a live well. You literally catch them. Some guys use nets. They'll leave them in the net, get their board ready, snap a quick photo. And I mean, they only added kind of difficulty to that is you can catch one, you can get it in your boat, you can put it on that board, and then it'll flop off the board, and then it's like you never caught it. So that, can be a challenge, and that's not fun in a tournament when you do everything right except take the photo, but it's part of it. So
That's crazy. So what are some of the techniques? So if you're gonna fish a tournament, what are some of the techniques that you're doing? Are you trying to move? Because I know, like in a bass fishing boat, you're literally trying to hit as many spots as you possibly can to try and get as many fish as you can. And some of those tournament fishermen are covering a lot of water, or are you just dissecting certain areas as you go to make yourself catch more fish?
it really depends on the tournament. Covering water, they give us typically, like in the national events, Bassmaster, they give us a half hour to kind of get to our spots, divide up, whatever. So in those events, you want to be to your starting spot typically like about the lines in. So you get a good half-hour run, get away from people. Like we fished Lake 10 Killer. I had 2 areas. I pre-fished for 7 days, and I found 2 areas that I had like a concentration of fish, and the rest of it was just like flipping shallow bushes. So I knew like I would kind of milk an area for a while, and then I would flip bushes for a long time, and then I would like work my way to my other area. So I'm constantly like fishing, have a line in the water, knowing they're in this area, they're in the bushes, then they're in this area. So some events, like when we were just up at Champlain, I probably fished a 200-yard stretch just back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and moving side to side and kind of around. So it really depends. If you run into a spawning tournament, you're just like running from bed to bed to bed to bed to bed. So kind of depends on the tournament. But again, yeah, we're not covering a ton of water, but you can cover 10, 12 miles in a kayak in a tournament. The kayak I have goes about 4 miles an hour. It's one of the slower kayaks that there is that's motorized. Some of them are going, 6 to 7 miles an hour, so they can cover a little more water. But yeah, I think if you're going 7 miles an hour, you're not fishing either. So like time is money on the tournament side, so you kind of gotta use it wisely. But yeah, it depends on what the pattern is and what's going on.
What do you think like one of the most difficult things since you started tournament fishing that you have to overcome?
I think probably learning how to make decisions and committing to them is probably the hardest part of. It's probably not even really just kayak fishing. It's probably just tournament fishing in general. And having confidence in the decision that you're making, that you're doing the right thing. And you can get spun out really easy if you feel like you're not near fish and now I'm just wasting time and this bait's not going to catch them. Like, with that attitude, you're never going to catch fish. If you're confident, you're like, yep, they're going to be there when I get there and I just have to go to this spot and I'm going to catch them. So yeah, decision making, I think is a big part of it.
Yeah. Now, when you're obviously pre-fishing a lot of those tournaments, what are you doing pre-fishing to make yourself successful come tournament day?
Just trying to find areas. Like I don't catch a ton of fish in practice. I just look for areas that have a lot of fish. So if I get like one bite, like I'm going to mark that and I'm going to keep looking around, and sometimes I'll like take the hooks off and whatever. Pretty rare, but I will do that if I think it's a good area, but I'm not really sure. But yeah, just like back to the 10 Killer example, I fished that. I traveled down there with a buddy. We fished sunrise to sunset for 6 days or whatever it is. Bass Master usually gives us like a week of practice. So, and we, between the two of us, found 4 areas that had fish in the whole lake. And you may launch all the way north one day and all the way south one day, and now you need to decide, like, okay, I can't make that run, so I need to either fish the north side or the south side, and what has more fish. And yeah, not catching fish in practice, and then just having confidence that they're going to be there when you get there. But obviously that can change. Like in that same tournament, we had a pretty good bite around an island that was going on, and they were on like each stump. I went there in the morning, and I could just kind of tell they weren't really there. Like something changed, something happened. So I went fished a different area that had fish, and the guy that I was with ended up going to that island, and there was another guy there, and the guy was like, I cracked him here yesterday, like the day before the tournament. And it was like, well, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, so people kind of ruining your stuff can play a part in what you think you find could be good on Monday, but then by tournament time on Saturday, it's this guy out here went and caught every fish over there, and now there's nothing there when you get there for the tournament. So I really try to not catch a lot and leave my areas alone. And then I guess kind of the second part of that is I try to find a lot of different scenarios in one area. So like an A plan, B plan, C plan, D plan, and they're all close together. So if it's a shallow bite and I can go flip bushes, great. If that's not working, I can go out to 12 feet and I can throw a tube. If that doesn't work, I have a 30-foot spot over here that was holding some smallmouth that I can go throw the minnow and do the live scoping thing on. And I don't have to travel far to do that. So that's something I really look for in every tournament, whether it's local or at these bigger national lakes. Like, not just being kind of pigeonholed into one thing. And if this doesn't work, I'm spinning out and I have nowhere to go. That's like the worst feeling in tournament fishing. So trying not to do that.
And keeping yourself pigeonholed and not having areas to go to is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like you have one little spot and then you get there and Timmy in the tournament cracked him there yesterday and now there's nothing. And you're like, well, I can't go to the bushes because I didn't catch anything there in practice. I can't go out deep. I have nothing else to go to. And now I'm just sitting here hoping that they show back up. And rarely is that going to work. But if you can kind of adapt and adjust and make those changes and go, okay, they're not in the bushes right now, but let's go try this, or look at your map and go, oh, this looks similar, so let me go try that. And, or you found some over here in practice or whatever. So yeah, just having that A, B, C, D, E, F plan, however many you can get. Then if you show up to your first stuff and catch them, like now you got a lot of stuff for tomorrow. I mean, the national events are 2-day events, so that's the other part of that is managing fish during the tournament when you have to catch them. You got to catch the biggest 5 you can, but also save enough for tomorrow. A lot of strategy comes in there.
That's what I was going to ask you. Like, are you going out there trying to get your 5 fish like as fast as you possibly can and then cull off of those 5? Like, you want to get those 5 fish so that you have your 5 fish weight and then just kind of push off of it to try and catch a little bit bigger of a fish?
Want to plan your next fishing trip without the hassle? FishingBooker.com is the best way to find and book a fishing charter anywhere in the world. Whether you're chasing trophy fish or just looking for a family day on the water, Fishing Booker makes it simple, fast, and secure. With thousands of experienced guides, verified reviews, and 24/7 customer support, Fishing Booker takes the guesswork out of planning. Visit FishingBooker.com and book your trip today. Fishing Booker. Fishing trips made easy.
Talk about stepping up. Bang! Bang!
It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
Hunting is not easy. It never has been. It takes dedication, motivation, a lot of patience, and quality gear. If you manage a food plot, put up stands, or need just one more game camera, we can help at MidwayUSA.com. We opened our doors in 1977 and continue to put customers first by offering super fast, same-day shipping. For just about everything for the outdoors, go to MidwayUSA.com. For almost 50 years, Midway USA has been America's go-to source for just about everything for shooting, hunting, and the outdoors. Go to MidwayUSA.com to see our latest deals and promotions and take advantage of our super fast same-day shipping. If you need a cooler, a new fishing rod, another rifle, ammo, or a reloading press, you can find it all at MidwayUSA.com. Thanks for your business.
That is how I really started. I remember talking to a buddy down in Florida, and I was like, oh man, I got this area and I know I can go catch 5, and I got this area where I know I can go catch fish and they're going to be better. And he was like, well, if you go catch 5, you're going to finish in 130th if they're all 12 inches. Like, that's our minimum. So you're not really doing anything. If you're not fishing for the right fish, then what's the point in catching 5? So that kind of flipped my mentality. So now I just kind of start looking for the right 5. And if you get those right 5 bites, then you're in the top. If you go fishing for a limit, you're wasting the first 3 hours because you still need to call all those fish. You're not, so that kind of flipped my mindset and how I tournament fish now. And just, you may not get 30 bites, but if you get 5, you're going to be in the right realm. And then it's always nice too to have an area close to that where it's like, okay, if I need a bass, I can go over here and I have a good chance of catching a keeper, just in case things get a little don't go as planned. So
now when you're trying to target those bigger fish, are you throwing a certain lure to try and get a bigger fish, like a bigger bait or anything like that, to try and find those bigger fish?
Not necessarily. I think it's mostly area dependent.
Okay.
When you're catching a lot of small fish, it's very rare that you're going to find a big one with them. If you're catching those bigger quality fish, they tend to hang together, especially on bigger lakes. Like if you're around like those 12 inches, you'll catch them all day long. But the big fish aren't going to compete with 50 little ones
Right.
for food. Like they're going to go out by themselves and find their own food and that sort of thing. So like when we were just up at Champlain, if you went shallow, you could throw a tube and catch 30 fish a day, and they were all 16 inches. But if you went out and fished in 60 feet, you could scope around and find, groups of 3 or 4, and those were all going to be 18 to 20 inches. So going to the bank doesn't make a whole lot of sense. You just got to go out there and put in the time and try to find those better caliber fish. And that's just, I mean, not saying they will never be together, but it's pretty rare that they are. So same bait, same technique, same things, just finding the better size concentrations.
Yeah. Now, do you feel that the technology as it's improved has made the fishing a little bit easier?
Yes and no. The live scope stuff, of course, it makes it, I guess, easier, but it opens up areas of lakes that you would have never looked at before. Like at Champlain, I was catching them in 60 feet. You're not going to go fish out there without it. Like you're just going to beat your head against the wall, and you might catch 1 or 2 throughout the day. But so with that, like easier, it's sometimes, but you can also waste a lot of time, and you can fish and look around out in deep water, and they're just not there. Like,
does it
but
have
now
like
you have to go look because you have the option and you can see them if they are. So,
but it has its own challenges to it, I would imagine.
Yeah. I don't know. Obviously, I'm sure you guys have seen all the controversy about it. And...
Well, not really, because we're not really huge bass fishermen. So we honestly I mean, I see it from time to time, right? Guys say it's cheating and whatnot, but not really. I mean, we're not really in that world, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, guys compare it to like spotlighting deer. I think that's a crazy analogy. I think it's more like if you took a drone and went and found deer, and then you need to get within 20 yards of that deer with your body. Like that's kind of how, like, to compare it to hunting, that side of it. Like, yeah, they're there. That doesn't mean you're going to get within 20 yards of that to shoot it with a bow. Like, so I think that's more how it sets up than spotlighting deer. Like if I cast to a fish, I'm not out there snagging them, like just reeling them in. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you still have to get that fish to bite. You still have to get that fish to react. You have to present your bait correctly. You have to, do all of the right things to get that fish to commit to the bait. So
I'd have to. It's funny as you're explaining
I'm not laughing at you at all. It's just a side thing.
Yeah. It's
Thanks, Sam. Appreciate the laugh, bud.
It's just funny that it all played out in the way that you said it, because there's some stuff going on in the background it's just kind of funny. So there I would
stuff everywhere.
I would kind of relate it to the fact of like getting a big buck on trail camera and then having to try and go in there and kill that deer. It's kind of in the same analogy, right? Because you see the fish, but now you got to get the fish to bite.
Yeah.
Which is kind of that thing that Pope and Young's doing, or Boone and Crockett. Yeah, Pope and Young's doing with the cell cam, instant right to your phone, and then running out to the backyard or whatever, the backfield, and shooting one.
Yeah, it is, and I get the argument of it's cheating. I get it, but I think the people that are saying that are people that have probably not used it and gone out and stared at the thing and casted at 500 drum, thinking they were bass. Like there's so many fish in our lakes, and you can sit out there and waste so much time casting at carp and drum and pike and pickerel and like fish. Like at Champlain, I caught a pike in like 45 feet on the bottom on a rock. Like you cast at that fish thinking it's a bass. Like you can waste your entire tournament day looking at it. But you watch the pro guys do it, and it's like, oh, this is so easy. You just put it in the water and just cast. They bite, you reel them in. Like, it's pretty rare that that's how it happens.
I'm not a big bass fisherman at all. In my opinion, the only thing I don't like about that shit is like anything in the outdoors that I try to do, I'm trying to get away from a screen. I'm trying to get away from a computer or my phone and like enjoy nature. And then and it's not just bass fishing, it's all outdoor sports. Technology's taking over and we're like kind of back to looking at screens and not what we're really out there to do. But other than that, like it's incredible the shit that we can do with technology.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is. And still, like, if I had the choice to go catch them on a frog or go catch them in 60 feet, like, I'm going to throw a frog. Like, it's definitely not my favorite thing to do. You're like this all day, your neck's sore, your back hurts. It's like, what are we doing out here?
Mm-hmm.
But if that's what you got to do to compete and win in some tournaments, like, that's what I'll do. But like 10 killer, I caught all of my fish without it. And then, like, it's kind of funny because we get camera boats, or like a camera boat that's out there. And the first day I did pretty good early, and I was like, let me go out to that like scoping spot and just see if I can catch them. And if you're up in like the top, they'll try to find you and be like, oh, what are you doing? Da, da, da. So he pulled up on me, and I was like, everyone's gonna think I was scoping on these, and they're gonna be commenting all over Facebook about how it doesn't count because I'm a scoper and da da da. Sure enough, I don't even think I put one of those fish on the board. And they posted a picture of me out there with the thing, and everyone, and I told them, I was like, it's gonna be funny because it's gonna be the first thing that people comment right away. It's all these people like, oh, cheating, da da da. Like, little do they know I didn't use it to catch any of the fish that got me to where I was.
It's so crazy. Do you get a lot of that controversy?
Oh, people, yeah. And we've kind of leaned into it too. Like, one of the kids I travel with, he's a younger guy, and I think just in fishing in general, like we were just talking about, like the screens, especially the younger generation, like everything's on a screen. They don't mind it at all. They prefer looking at a screen.
Mm-hmm.
So he's kind of leaned into it. I think he's like 20, 21 maybe. But he started this whole branding called Scope and Hope. And because he's basically saying, like, everyone's like, oh, you don't need any skills. You just go out there and catch it. So he's made these decals and whatever, and it's hats, and it just says Scope and Hope. And we've kind of all just leaned into that. So it's fun. It's fun to like kind of just mess with it. But like I said, I'd rather go catch them on a frog. It's just funny to see the comments.
So when okay,
I know I don't follow it that much, but I know there's certain series where like there's like only one day you can use a scope, or there's one day or 2 out of 3 days you can use a scope. Does any of your tournament structures do anything like that, or you can use it full time all the time if you want?
You can use it full time all the time if you want. Yeah, we don't have those same rules. Some of them, like MLF has it, like you can use it for 1 period out of 3 per day.
Right.
You can pick which period you want it. But yeah, we can use it whenever.
Wide open.
Yeah. Well, like I said, there's a lot of times where you just have to, and I think that's hard for a lot of people to just know when to put it away, because you will sit out there and waste so much time on fish that either aren't going to bite or like, and once you're kind of dedicated to it, like you're dedicated. So if you don't look at the bank and don't go up there, like you're kind of stuck with it. So it can hurt you just as much as it can help you, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So my question with it is, like, with the scope, like if you find a school of fish and they're in that 50, 60 feet of water, are you throwing one particular lure at them, or are you kind of going through the arsenal to try and find that one that they're going to chew on?
Definitely going through the arsenal. There are days where it's, you got to present it this way. There's a lot of like signs that fish will give you on when you can see them and kind of know how they're reacting with your bait, that sort of thing. It definitely helps you get through that process faster. And then once you get it figured out, it's usually pretty easy to duplicate. So if you get one smallmouth to eat something falling fast, the next one is most likely going to do the same thing instead of something really slow, like over their head and holding it. Not that they won't eat that, but like you just got to kind of figure out what's going to get you the bites the quickest and be as efficient as you can. Obviously, efficiency is key in tournaments when you only have X amount of time to get out there and catch them. Like, you have to be as efficient as you can. You can't be. So that's all something in practice, trying to dial in colors, sizes, baits, all of that. Like Champlain, I threw probably 15 baits before I found one that they would eat. And then it was like, just get it in front of them and they're going to eat it every time. But you could throw the other bait and not get bit for 3 days. So
how many
through it quicker.
You keep on the kayak? Because I know like bass fish, like you see the guys in the bass boats, they got like 17 rods all lined up. Like
looks like a Christmas tree.
Rubber worms, one's for crankbaits, one's for jigs, one's for this. Like you have limited space, and like I'm sure it's tough, but I'm sure you got an arsenal at the same time. So how do you run through that?
I can bring like 12. But you said they look like a Christmas tree. Like ours stands straight up, so it's just like behind you. It's just like lines of rods. I try not to bring that many, just so you have like empty rod holders to like put stuff. Like if everything's full, it's like, okay, where'd I get this one from? It needs to go right back there because it's the only open spot. But yeah, I mean, trying to stay well versed and have everything is good. But typically, if you have that many rods out, it means you didn't find something very specific in practice. I bring things that I think will work, even if I haven't caught them on it in practice. But typically, like Champlain, I think I brought 5 rods because I knew I was going to be out in 60 feet. Like you're not throwing a crankbait, you're not throwing a jig, like you're throwing minnows and drop shots and that sort of thing. So some tournaments you got to bring a lot. Typically, I would say my average tournament, I'm probably between 8 and 10 rods. But
do you kind of a kayak?
It is a lot.
Your kayak?
What was that?
How long is your kayak?
13 and a half feet. So, and the tank well behind me is pretty big. Like I can fit 2 like big tackle crates back there, and batteries like go under the seat. And then on the tackle crates, I have like rod tubes, and then there's a couple built into the boat. So there's a good amount of room, and it's all behind you. So like the overhead cast, like you see a lot of like the big boat guys, like there's rods right behind me. So it's a lot of like roll casts and like sidearm kind of casts with the kayaks, or you will break rods and hook your stuff. That's not fun.
Do they ever fish them at night, or is it all day tournaments?
The online series used to do these things where it would start at like 6 p.m. and go to like 6 a.m. But it was online. You would submit fish like that, and you could fish your home waters and things like that. Live events, not really. Once in a while, people will host 1 or 2 kind of random, but not very consistently.
Yeah.
It's really hard to take pictures of fish on a board at night.
Right.
You get a lot of reflection, and like especially with like iPhone, like they'll take a long time to take the photo because it thinks you're standing still, but nothing is still. Like the boat's moving, your hand's moving, the fish is trying to move. It's all blurry. It's like, okay, this is terrible. So you can use like a headlamp. You can do it, but it's more of a challenge for sure.
It's a pain in the butt, I'd imagine.
Yeah. It would be fun though.
Ryan, you said earlier, so you started local and then you made the jump to national. Is that something that you, like, did you have to qualify your way up to get on the national, or is it something that you just decided you were ready for and you could just kind of enter?
You can just enter it. Everything's still, to this day, besides like the championship events, is all opens. Yeah, it's fairly inexpensive. Like our entry fees are $250 for Bassmaster. You can typically, like, I trailer my kayak, so I can travel with somebody. I can throw 2 kayaks on it, which is kind of a benefit of not having a boat where it's just one person. So I travel with somebody, kind of split costs that way. It can be expensive, of course, like anything, but yeah, they're all open events, and then you have to qualify for the championships. So Bassmaster does the top 5 of each event qualify for the championship, and then the top 50 in AOY qualify for the championship event. So
that's crazy. So you were talking about maps and working on maps. Like, do you look at a lot of those maps before pre-fishing and say, okay, I want to come to this drop off, or I want to come to this point, or I want to come to this area, or like, what is your pre-practice techniques?
Yeah, a lot of map study, Google Earth, just trying to figure out, contours, that sort of stuff, figure out where things are. You can go find some things have, like, it'll tell you like where there's brush piles in the lake, where there's this, where there's that, on like state websites where they put that information, which
Right.
typically those aren't the best spots, but you can find out a lot online. Yeah, and then I mean, watching old tournaments can be beneficial, but typically, again, if someone wins there once, like that spot's probably never the same again.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll give you kind of an idea on like what the fish are doing, or like the depths to look, or things like that. So yeah, with YouTube and all that, there's a lot of information out there to go look, but definitely maps, and during practice, it's just like staring at a map all the time. Like, okay, I found these in 18 feet. Where else is it kind of look similar to this? Or, what, like, how does it, if they're up on a flat or if they're out on a point, like, where's another point so I can try to duplicate this pattern? Or is it just this point that has them, or this flat, or is it the grass? Like, there's a lot of that once you kind of get little clues through practice, you just try to duplicate in as many areas as you can. And then you, like I said, you try to find that area that has a little bit of all of that for the tournament. At least for me.
So when you go from place to place to place, like obviously Champlain fish is different than Candlewood, which then fish is different than, in Florida or whatever, and you're trying to find those colors, what are the clues that you're looking for to find that certain colors are going to work in certain lakes?
I think a lot of it is, I mean, there are like things that work, like June bug works good down south. It's not the best up north. Like there is things like that are tried and true. But I think a lot of it is just confidence. I think if you have confidence that it's going to work, like you can kind of throw it anywhere and it's going to be fine. Like, yeah, water clarity is going to play a part, but up here where we are, we have deep, clear lakes, and then we have like muddy, swampy kind of Florida style lakes. Like you can go fish dirty water if you want to. You can go fish a clean river, or you can go fish a dirty river. Like we can be pretty diverse. And okay, when I go to the dirty river at home, like black and blue is going to be the deal. If I go to a cleaner river, I want more natural green pumpkin, browns, those kind of colors. So if I go to Florida, it's probably going to be somewhere. If it's dirty, I'm going to go with that black and blue or some version of it. And yeah, I don't think colors play as big of a part as tackle companies make you think.
Really?
In most situations, like I think, black, blue, green, pumpkin, and white on most things, like you're going to be in pretty good shape, especially moving bait wise. And then like worms, I mean, you're talking green pumpkin, black, June bug, like that. You don't need 500 different colors of every worm. But like a Yamamoto Senko, everybody's got their favorite color that works the best, and they can throw it everywhere and they catch fish on it. Like,
right. As long as they're confident in it, right?
I think confidence is key in all of it. Like, I think that's probably the biggest part of the sport of fishing is, and probably anything outdoors. Like, if you get to your tree stand and you're like, there's no deer going to walk by here, there's probably not going to be a deer that walks by there. Like, if you go out there and you're like, yeah, this is setting up perfect, like this is going to happen, it's just a matter of time, like, and your confidence is high, most likely something's probably going to happen. It's the same as fishing. Like, if you think you're going to catch them, you're probably going to, and if you think you're going to have a tough day, you're probably right.
And I think like the fishing industry as a whole has always been, I mean, even from, the early 2000s when I was in the tackle shop, is a lot of the fishing gear, you're catching the fishermen more than they're catching fish. It seems as if you stay with those basics, they always work. I mean, like when my dad used to be a tournament fisherman, and like he still to this day will fish the same exact stupid lure, and I was like, bro, just put it down. Like, just fish something else. Like, but he won't because he's so confident in it, and it still catches. And he'll whoop on us, but it's just the way it goes.
Yep. And then if you go throw that same bait, like we joke about that sometimes, like trying to catch other people's fish or try to do like someone else's pattern, like it just doesn't work. Like they have confidence in it. You could be throwing the same bait, the same depth, the same time, the same pile. They're catching them and you're not. Like it's just, you get it figured out, and whether it's what you're doing with your rod, whether it's what, where you're casting, how you're casting, how long you're letting it sit, whatever it is, you're catching them and I'm not. Like, it's just confidence, and you pick up something that I'm catching them on, and you're like, I don't know, I haven't thrown this in 5 years, and you throw it out there, you're like, this isn't gonna work.
Yeah.
And then it just doesn't. Like, I don't know, it's a weird thing, but I feel like it happens more often than not.
It's so true.
But catching somebody else's fish is nearly impossible, at least for me.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you. What like, I could send you pins on the home lake, and it doesn't mean you're going to go there and catch fish, because where, what log, what place, where those fish were sitting, what they were doing, how they took the bait, if it was some type of twitch that you did, or who knows. It's kind of crazy, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, and you get that a lot. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, do you have spots on this lake that are good? I'm like, yeah, I have spots that have been good, but I've also gone there and not caught them. So, like, do you really want these spots that might not be good? Probably not. Like, you have to know, like, what you're looking for. Like you said, like, I can give you a point on a map, but if you go there, you're like, okay, it looks like nothing. But if you look at it from this angle, there might be a log or a stick or a rock, or maybe the fish set up on the back side or the front side. It's just not worth it, to me at least. Like, I'd rather go find something different, something myself. And if someone's willing to share that information with you, they've probably shared it with 50 people already, and you're not the first one to go there. So I'd rather not.
Especially, it's fishermen and hunters. You don't know what to believe and how to believe it. Like you see a guy in the parking lot and you're like, oh, how'd you do today? Oh, I did real good. But what's his good? And where did he, like, what did he, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I saw a big buck over there, or I didn't see anything at all. Like, if you come into the parking lot and you see me and Steven, we said we didn't see nothing at all, well, you can bet your ass that that's not the truth, right? Like, we're just killing your confidence. Like, that's just the way that this
There's no
goes.
deer here, dude. I don't know.
Dude.
What's that?
This place sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every boat that comes by me, like, how you make it out? I'm like, I caught a few. I could have caught nothing, or I've caught 100. I caught a few. I don't know. Go catch them. You're out here. Just, like, you should know how's it going for you. Are you catching them? Then I'm probably catching them. Are you not catching them? I'm probably not catching them. I don't know. I caught a few. This is my go-to. I don't know.
Our good friend Dan Young from Iowa, over at the Outdoor Call Radio, he just jumped on and he says, I always do good. I have Little Debbie snacks on every trip.
That'll make it good.
It makes it a good trip. It makes it a good trip. Yeah.
You know you're gonna have a good trip in the morning when you pack those that.
Do you now how does that work? Like, being on the boat, you have to condense all of your stuff, and like, you're fishing all day. Like, you eat lunch right on the boat, and you just or you bring snacks with you, or how does that even work?
I'm a big Uncrustable guy.
Really?
Uncrustables are to play on the boat because they start off frozen, so by the time like noon hits, they're like ready to go. You leave them under the seat so they're in the shade, and then just drinks, Red Bulls and Celsiuses and some water here and there. But yeah, I pack very light food wise. Like, I'm not bringing like a lunch, I wouldn't say.
Right.
Like, 2 Uncrustables and some drinks, and we're good for the day.
It's like rut deer hunting for us. It's what are those honey wafer things that you eat, Steve, that you love?
Honey stinger?
Honey stingers, dude. He lives by the honey stingers.
Like 4 of them a day, 5 of them a day, and just keep you out there.
Yeah, probably about 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the
Seems like the right number.
Uncrustables. I like Uncrustables for sure. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I used to use Nutty Butters, but the problem is the Nutty Butters get crunched and crackled, and then you're just eating dust. It's miserable.
Yeah.
That's how I end up with the honey stingers, dude. They're so thin and pliable, they don't take up any room, and they'll kind of bend if they get crushed.
It's perfect. Yeah, it's like an Uncrustable. You can't ruin it. It's individually wrapped. Like, what else do you want?
My snack game's pretty dialed in. Not gonna lie.
It has to be.
Yeah, I can live out of a backpack for the long term.
Ryan, have you had any crazy like run-ins with other fishermen or anything like that? Because I imagine fishing different states, having different tags on your car and so on and so forth, that you've definitely had some type of crazy run-in.
Midway USA offers a wide selection of high-quality magazines from top manufacturers catering to various firearm platforms and specific disciplines of shooting. 223 is a staple, and 6mm ARC mags are just a few clicks away. If you own a Glock, just bought a 6-hour, or want to shoot your 1911 a little more, you can visit MidwayUSA.com to get another magazine. Plinkers with a Ruger 1022 can have nearly as much fun shopping for a drum magazine as they can shooting it at the range. For just about everything for shooting, shop MidwayUSA.com. Midway USA brand product designers have one straightforward goal: develop high-quality, technically sound products and deliver them to customers at reasonable prices. If you are immersed in the shooting sports industry and pay close attention to every single detail, you know our products are built right and stand up to everyday use. Who has shooting mats and range bag systems to hunting clothing and just about everything for the outdoors? Log on and shop 24/7 with super fast shipping. MidwayUSA.com.
Bow hunting all comes down to a moment. And in the moment, you want equipment on your bow that will get the job done. Trophy Ridge products are the tools bow hunters trust. React technology sights, rests, stabilizers, and quivers to help a bow hunter be successful in the field. And those tools are from Trophy Ridge.
Hey guys, this is Melissa Bachman. Are you ready to stop spooking deer before it's even time to hunt them? Then you need the new Flex S Dark cellular trail camera from SpyPoint. With a no-glow flash option, long-lasting solar power, and a ton of settings that can be changed anytime through the SpyPoint app, there are no more excuses for letting your deer get wise before the season even starts. So check it out for yourself and see why the SpyPoint Flex S Dark is the unstoppable and undetectable scouting tool you need for your next hunt.
Honestly, I've had one run-in with someone who was fishing a tournament, and it was during practice, and it was kind of like the craziest thing. I'm part of like the Old Town Kayak team. Have been for a few years, so I know a bunch of the guys. So I was launching at a ramp, and there's another Old Town guy there. We were just talking, like kind of on our way out. Get out to a spot. This dude in the tournament starts like screaming at me, and he's like, "I don't know how you two fish together." And I'm like, "What are you talking? Like, we're not even together. He went that way, I went this way. Like, we were just talking on the way out." So whatever, kind of let it go. I go into like a cut up the next little cut in, and then I kind of loop through. I'm coming out. He's pulling in. He starts screaming at me again. "Everywhere I want to go, you're there." Da, da, da. But if this is practice, it's like the first day of practice. You have 6 more days in a tournament. Like, he's in the tournament, I'm in the tournament. We're doing the exact same thing. Like, we're gonna run into each other, and then like the next cut, same thing. And I was like, "How far are you going? I'll just go until you're not going anymore." So he tells me, "I'm not going past the bridge, whatever." And then he just goes past the bridge, finds me again, screams at me again. I'm like, but that's like really that's it. Most of the kayak people that we fish with are awesome. Like, they don't get in your way, you don't get in their way. Like, you're good. Boaters can be iffy on it. But I think it's just being courteous to everyone, giving people space, like, and there's not really an issue. It's different. Like, you have to kind of learn different etiquettes at different lakes. Like, our championship this year was on Lake Fork, in Texas, like probably one of the biggest, most popular bass fishing lakes there is. Since it's Bassmaster, we fish the same weekend as the Classic, so it kind of coincides. And obviously it's close to the Classic lake, so you get a lot of fishermen in that area. You get a lot of people kind of that aren't locals, and you get the locals all mixed together. Everyone's fishing, everyone's kind of doing the same thing, and boats just like pack into a little area. And like anywhere you cast, you could hit 3 boats from where you are.
Yeah.
And that is perfectly okay there, because that's what everyone does. Like, everyone's like, yeah, you're just going to pull in on a boat, and you're going to fish around them, and they're going to fish around you, and then another boat's going to pull in, and then another boat's going to pull in, and that's just what it's going to be. And then you'll go to another lake, and if you're within 200 yards, the guy will come over and be like, "You're a little close, don't you think?" I'm like, I don't know. Depends where we are, I guess. So, no, it's kind of just knowing the etiquette, knowing what's going on,
You ever get yelled at by someone Karen on her dock saying you're too close to her dock? Those are my favorite YouTube videos to watch.
Candlewood. That's more of a northern thing for sure.
Is it?
Yep, Candlewood. We had a national event there in 2020, maybe 2021. I think it's the first and the last time any trail will travel to Connecticut. But I caught one early in the morning. It was a spawn tournament, and it was like right on the corner of this lady's dock, and I caught it. And it's a smallmouth. It was like 20 inches long. It's jumping. It's all over the boat, making noise, whatever. She comes out and she was like, "You're being a little loud." And I was like, I just caught a fish. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. I made a YouTube video of that years ago. I'm sure it's still up, but she like yells, whatever. And then a ski boat flies by us at like 7 a.m. And I'm like, that guy's good? You're fine with him? But it's like a fish splashing outside your house is an issue. So yeah, that happens here and there. Actually, I tell people now, I'm like, maybe next time you'll be able to afford a house on a private lake. And they don't love that, but it usually gets a good laugh out of me. But
how about weather and elements? You ever run into anything like you ever get into some shit out there and get hit by a storm while you're on the kayak, like out there?
No, not too bad. And I'm I'll go out in anything. Our kayaks are really stable. Like, I think a lot of people think like kayak fishing, you're sitting in like a paddle kayak that's like tippy and like your everyday kayak. Like, I stand and fish in my kayak. It has a trolling motor integrated in it. You spot lock, all that stuff. It's very stable. So I'm not worried about like weather. But with that being said, like day 2 of Champlain just got canceled because of high wind. So the tournament directors will typically take us out of that and not make that part of the equation. Part of it is because they'll just be going around picking up plastic boats all day long. And then the other part is obviously safety and that sort of thing. Just, waiver, like you sign a waiver, but it doesn't really mean anything. So they just try to keep us safe. And with the way that we, like what we get, so like at Champlain, they'll send you like a launch list, every public launch that's available on the lake. And you can pick a launch that's going to kind of be out of that stuff. So if you know it's coming, just try not to be out there when it's going to happen. Downpours, hailstorms, all that. Yeah, that sucks. You're just miserable and you're wet. Lightning, try to get under somebody's dock, like that sort of stuff. But like waves and that sort of thing, like wind, I haven't really been anything too crazy. But yeah, if you can try to find someone's dock in like a torrential downpour, that's always a plus.
I bet you if they're not mad about you catching fish off the end of their dock, they're definitely going to be mad when you're snuggling up underneath it.
See, the docks down south are the ones that you can like get underneath. They're like garages on the water, and those people don't care. They'll come out and be like, "Hey, man, cool to see that you're fishing." And then if you did that up here, yeah, people would lose their mind. But they don't have covered docks typically up here.
It's so crazy because, not too long ago I was fishing one of the local lakes, our hometown lake, and there was some dude standing on the end of the dock telling me not to fish near the dock. He was like shooing people off, and I couldn't believe it. I was blown away. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, dude. I'm like, excuse me? I want to be like, dude, you got the wrong guy. Like, you don't want to be doing that. That's not a good idea. Like,
hit them with the maybe next time you'll be able to afford a house on a private lake. They love that.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is they think that they're on a private lake. That's the craziest part, and especially now that they have all the bigger houses around the lake, they think that they I don't know. And there's a couple of docks.
They think they have the right to tell you that, but yeah, it's like anything. There's a thing about that in the Potomac River. He's a professional fisherman, or was. Someone came out on like one of the marina docks and sprayed him with a hose, and he like went after this marina for like assault and the whole thing. And now you go to the Potomac River and everyone's like, "Well, yeah, fish are right around us. It's fine, no big deal." So it just takes someone to, something to happen and people to realize that you can't do that. Like, you can't be yelling at people, But till then they will, and they're like, "You can't fish my dock. My kids swim here." I'm like, "Okay, bass swim here too."
Yeah.
I'm not trying to catch your kids. I'm trying to catch a bass.
Yeah. People are just
can't own the water. It's God's water.
They think they do, though.
It happens everywhere.
Yeah. Especially our home lake there. I'm sure we're talking about. We grew up in the same town, so I'm sure we're talking about the same one.
Yeah. Why you get it? You get it there too?
Here and there, pretty rarely. And I most of the time I don't even like make eye contact with them. I'll just keep fishing. Like I just don't like I don't make time for it, and I don't know.
It's kind of crazy because it was never like that. I fished every dock in that entire lake my entire life tenfold. You know what I'm saying? And like I just don't understand. I think I've flipped every dock. You know what I'm saying? That was in that place, and now, I went out with my brother, and some lady was like standing. I watched her. She was standing in her sliding glass door with her lights off, like just watching us, like we were gonna do something wrong. And I'm like, there's not even a boat on the dock. Like, what is the problem? And it's funny is that I didn't know this, but that particular dock, and mind you, I haven't fished on that lake in quite some time now. That particular dock, the gentleman who owns that dock was a professional bass fisherman at one time. He actually has like Christmas trees and all kinds of those, like that Bill Dance, like that green, like, you know what I'm talking about? Like the underwater submerged thing. It's at the end of his dock. And it's one place I constantly hit all the time. And I went there, and maybe not a lot of people know about the area. I don't know, but I just happen to know the gentleman, and I've fished there forever. And I went there, and there was this younger lady. She was up there, and then she started to come down, and it was just super weird. I'm like, what? Yeah. I'm like, it's just, I don't know. She has probably one of the best docks in the lake, hands down.
Is it a tan plastic dock?
I don't think so. No.
Not the dock I was thinking of.
I know. No.
There's another one there that has a Christmas tree at the end of it.
Does it really? Yeah. I'll have to tell after we get off air. I'll tell you where it is so you can go and check it out. Because you probably with the live scope you probably murder. To be honest with you there, but
that's funny.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. So, what do you have coming up for tournaments? You have a bunch of tournaments, or is it just kind of slowing down for the summer, or how does that normally work?
It's very spring heavy. We start early, like January, early February down in Florida this year, then went to Texas, Tennessee, Oklahoma, like all of that is before we even come up here. So like Champlain is pretty much the end of our season. There's one more event down at Toledo Bend in Texas. I'm not sure I'm making that one. It's just, again, travel Florida once, Texas twice, Oklahoma once.
And you have to drive.
And you're coming home. Are you doing a swing, or are you like going to Florida, coming home, going to Texas?
Go to Florida, come home. Yeah, it's like probably a tournament a month. So yeah, you're taking 7-8 days off work and traveling down there and leaving the wife and the baby at home. And they actually came to Florida with me, which was nice. But most of them, yeah, you're taking all that time. So Bassmaster takes your best 3 like scores for the year for Angler of the Year. And I'm lucky enough to have already qualified through like through like where I finished at events to have qualified for the championship. So if I go to Texas, it would just be to try to win AOI. So I don't know if I'm going to make the trip down there. But the flip side of that is kind of our local stuff is like midway through the season. We got probably 6 or 7 events left. I think we have a Slay Nation Kayak Series event on Mansfield Hollow on the 23rd.
Awesome.
We just had an event at Colebrook. I think we have a few Mansfield events coming up, and then some of like our final championship sort of style events. So we probably got 5 or 6 more just around here before the end of the year. So they go all the way to like September, October up here.
That's crazy. What was it? Was it overwhelming for the first time to go to like a new state like that and start to fish in one of those lakes? Like never stepped on the dirt. Never mind go and try and catch a fish in their water.
Yeah, it's intimidating. And there's always local guys who are going to catch them, and you're like, okay, I need to have X amount of fish, or like. When we go to Florida, we do the whole Kissimmee chain, and then they add like 3 or 4 lakes to that. So they're like, you could launch in a different lake every day, and there's lakes there that are complete duds that just don't have them, and there's lakes that are really good. Like when we were down there, we had a 200 probably person field, and I fished a tiny lake, and there was probably 70 people there. Like, so if you find like if you're off the fish or like in the wrong part of the lake or in the wrong lake altogether, like you can be so far off of where you need to be. And yeah, some of it is, study before, and some of it's going there and getting your teeth kicked in for the first couple of years. Like the first year I traveled, I wasn't competitive. Like, fishing for 5-12 inchers and then hoping that you can go upgrade one or two of them and you finish 70th or something like that. Or you're not catching limits, or, and then you kind of start to get, like anything, you get a little bit better. You figure out how to find fish a little bit quicker.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's nuts. I couldn't imagine. That's got to be like so upsetting that like you go there and not catch what you're looking for.
Yeah. Can you guys still hear me? My headphones just died.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, it can definitely be intimidating. And yeah, you spend, 6 days somewhere and you're just not catching fish. Like, I can't even tell you how many times I call my wife and been like, I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, I don't even know how to catch a bass anymore. I just came down here. I spent all this time, all this money. I'm away from everyone, and I'm down here. I'm like, I don't know. I just can't get them to bite, or I can't get them to, I can't find the right size. I've gone through practice at events and not caught fish for 4 days. Like, because you're just in the wrong part of the lake. You're looking at the wrong stuff, and then you're like, okay, let's try this side. And then it's like, oh, there's a little bit. Okay, there's more. Okay, let's duplicate this. And then you end up finding them by the end of the week. So giving yourself plenty of practice is definitely a huge part of that too. Because again, we're in a kayak that goes 4 miles an hour, and you're trying to break down like Lake Murray or Lake, even 10 killer Champlain. Like Champlain takes you 3 hours to drive it. Never mind go 4 miles an hour in a kayak. Like you're not covering any of that body of water, even in a week. So
right.
It's just putting the time in and doing it, getting your teeth kicked in, figure it out. Get your teeth kicked in, figure it out.
Talk about a confidence killer at that point, though. Like, because that's got to be the hardest thing ever. And then, especially in practice, if you didn't catch that many fish, and then you get into the actual tournament, and now what? You have no confidence in anything. You don't know where to go, what to do, how to do it, what color, what nothing.
Yeah, you got nothing. You're like, I'm just gonna go fishing and hope that today's the day I find them. Like, it's not the best feeling. Like, it definitely is. It's definitely hard. But then the flip side of that is you go and have one of those really tough tournaments on a big lake where you just can't find them, and you're looking, can't find. And then you come home and it's like, oh, we have to go fish Mansfield Hollow, and it's like, I can cover that in a day now. Like, I could just run that place and like find fish quick because I have spent so much time on huge bodies of water trying to find fish, and I'm like, you just get more efficient at it as you go. And now local events or things like that, it seems a lot easier. Where when you first start locally, it's daunting. It's like, okay, I got to go figure out this 400 acre, 500 acre lake. Like, okay, where do I start? And we only have one launch, so you have to launch here. But what if they're on the other side of the lake? Like, when am I going to get there? And then some of it's timing. Like, you got to be over here first thing in the morning, or, so the more that you go and do it, the more efficient you get at it. And then it seems easier, like at the smaller lakes. And then the bigger lakes start to seem smaller, if that makes sense.
Because you can dissect them differently.
Yeah. Yeah, and you kind of know what you're looking like. Okay, I'm going to go look for a shallow bite today. That's probably going to be over in this area. Or I'm going to go look for a deep bite. I think this area looks best for that. And then just go off that. And, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I think that's you're obviously doing something right. So.
Yeah, there's a lot to it, though. It is a lot, and it's a lot of decision making. Like, you can make the wrong decision and think about it think about it and waste time. Like, I started doing this thing, and it definitely hurts me and it definitely helps me. But if I'm like, all right, do I want to go over there? Do I want to go over here? Like, and I start like kind of second guessing myself. I go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then I just decide. And whatever I say then is what I do. Instead of letting myself like, let me keep thinking like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go to the point. Okay, boop, motor up, go to the point. Like, no more second guessing, no more thoughts, just do it. Because if you're sitting there and you're second guessing, you're just wasting time.
Right.
And you're not confident in what you're doing at that time. So you need to be doing something confident in.
I like that. Does it work?
Yeah, it works a lot. It's hard to make those decisions. It's hard with anything. And that's really how I've kind of just done it. And it kind of makes you just go with your gut. and typically your gut's going to lead you in the right direction. But it's not a foolproof plan.
No. Well, it could have been worse, or it could have been better. You never know because you went and did that one. So at least you made a decision.
Yeah, you decided, and it either paid off or it didn't, and
yeah,
you got what you got. And
it's like we say at work: do something, even if it's wrong.
Yeah,
just do something.
Do something. Ryan, it's been an absolute blast, man. We're going to ask you one last question, man, and that's what drives you outdoors?
I think, I don't know, I've always been like an outdoor person. Like, obviously everyone's, grandfather, dad, somebody took them outdoors and just kind of fell in love with it. And that's definitely how I was. Like, my grandfather was always big into fishing, kind of, always brought us when we were little. And I just love being outside, like being on the water, all of that. And then I also like to compete and kind of see where you stand. And I was always like a team sport person growing up. And I really like just, it's up to you. There is no fallback. There is no, I have the best quarterback in the league. There is no, this person's going to carry me. Like, you either do it yourself or you lose, and that's it. And you take it on the chin and you go home and you just try to get better. But I think being outside, and there's so many challenges to it. Like, it's never the same. You're not going to do the same thing twice. You're not going to catch that same fish, over there again. Like, it's a one-time thing. And I think just kind of the chase of it all is what keeps me going back. And I think that's kind of what drives me to go out there and just keep figuring it out. Because the second you think you got it figured out is the second that everything changes. And kind of to go off of that and more into your guys' realm, I just passed the bow course like 2 weeks ago, and I'm going to go jump into the woods this year. So that'll be another absolute nightmare of getting kicked in the teeth and figuring it out. But what do you got for me on that? Going in the woods first time bow hunting.
Listen, you got an older brother to show you around the ropes too. Don't.
He's done it for a year. Come on.
He's doing
what
just.
Do we got?
He's doing just fine. First off, I'll start with congratulations, dude. That's awesome. That's super awesome. I mean, dude, it's the same thing, Ryan. To be honest with you. Just follow your gut, man, and what seems right is right, and just be confident. And, everything that you said, just use that, because when you're confident and you sit in that deer stand and you think that there's going to be a deer there, the deer's going to be there, and you're married to it, and just make that decision and it's going to happen. I mean, that's, get confident in shooting and get confident in your spot, and you'll be successful. I mean, that's tenfold of it. And you have an older dude. Your brother will teach you plenty of things. He's got it down pat. I promise you. He's doing just fine.
He knows what he's doing. Actually, that's kind of what drove me to do it. Last year, it seemed like every morning I went to a tournament, like he would call me and be like, "Hey, just shot another deer. Hey, just shot another deer." And then if I would go sit with him, we wouldn't see anything. So I sat with him, I don't even know, probably 30 times last year, 20, 30 times.
Wow.
And I would just go in the woods and sit by myself without a bow. And I was just like, this is so cool. Like, I just want to bring a bow and do this. But just trying to find them and figure them out, I think it's so fun. It's very similar to fishing. Like, you think, oh, they're going to come over on that ridge and they're going to move this way. And then they come from behind you on the other ridge. And you're like, I don't know. I don't know why they're doing that. Yeah. So it's fun. I think it'll be fun. I'm excited to jump into that.
Have you gun hunted before, or this will be your first deer?
It'll be my first deer.
Yeah,
dude, that's freaking awesome, dude.
Yeah, I have no interest in, and I don't know if you guys rifle hunt or not. I just have no interest in that. I like the challenge of shooting one with a bow and having to get close, and I just think that's fun.
Well, when you get your first deer, you let us know. I want you to come back on, because I want to hear what that feeling's like compared to like the feeling of catching your PV bass.
All right.
So his brother Robbie jumped right into it tenfold. Now he's saddle hunting and all kinds of crazy stuff. And I remember he would text me constantly and just different things. Oh, I'm hunting from the ground. Look at this deer I shot or whatever. It was just super freaking awesome. So he's got it down pat. I know he does, and he jumped right into it. And then he was sending me the other day, oh, I got the saddle all dialed in, or I'd see him at the bow shop or whatever. So it's super cool, man. I'm excited to see your journey also, because it's especially, once you get into it and you really open it up, it's an absolute blast, bro. And my biggest thing, and if I could tell you one thing, don't let social media discourage you from anything. Just do what you want to do. And I started the intro as this, and I will end this podcast as this, is just hunt your own hunt, man, and just do what makes you happy, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And it's the same in fishing. Like, just do your own thing, man. Like, you're in the sport for yourself, like you said. You want to be, independent and just critique yourself and not from a team. And that's why we do it, man.
Yeah. Find your own fish, find your own just do it yourself, figure it out. That's what I like about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this though, because, and I think you can relate this to like the bass fishing world too. We're in the age of information. There's so much shit out there. Like, you could sit there and watch YouTube and listen to podcasts and do all this research and like try to learn everything there is to learn about deer hunting. Try to keep it as simple as you can, right? Like, here's a trail, there's a tree, deer's gonna come down the trail, shoot the deer, right? Like, the simpler you can keep it, because there's almost too much information out there where, like, same thing like bass fishing, right? Like, I'm not a big bass fisherman, but if I got into it and if I dive right down the rabbit hole, like, your head's gonna freaking explode. So, like, if you can keep it in the purest form, it's so much more enjoyable, and then you can kind of build off of that and add pieces of the puzzle as you go, because you don't want to like overload on like shit that doesn't even matter too early. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Same in the fishing world. Yeah, it's very similar. Like, you can buy all sorts of unnecessary stuff and
and too many thoughts, like over complicating a simple thing. Just go out, like if I was gonna go bass fishing, I just want to go out and catch fish, right? Just go out and kill a deer, get in a tree, and kill it.
We were joking the other day at the tournament, because one of the guys there is pretty big in the bow hunting, and he was like, it's funny because you see people that start hunting and they're like, I'm gonna go shoot the biggest buck. I'm only shooting a big one. And it's like, when you start fishing, it's like, I'm not just going to catch 8-pounders. Like, I just want to catch fish. Like, just start by shooting and then worry about finding bigger and better and next cool thing. So it's very similar. And I think a lot of it is going to translate in decision making and all of that. No, I'm excited for it. And like you just said, Trevor, Robbie, I remember, like, he shot his first deer and he calls me, and he's like a pretty adrenaline guy, done sports, all that. And he shoots his first one. He calls me. He's like, I'm like shaking. Like, I can't even like move. I'm like, that's so cool. Like, I just want to do that.
I still get to like that, bro. I still get like that. Like, can't talk, can't move, nothing. Like, it's the way it's supposed to be. It's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Well, good luck this fall, dude. I'm excited.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. No, this is a lot of fun, guys. Thanks for having me on. It was cool.
Absolutely. And one thing, to tag along, to just kind of wrap that up, is, there's the only way to learn how to kill deer is by killing deer. So don't go out there and try and shoot a 150. Just shoot the first deer that walks by. Just shoot him. The only way you're going to learn how to follow a blood trail, the only way you're going to know how it works out is by killing them. So just kill the first thing you see, and then just it'll all fall in line from there. Ryan, can you just tell everyone where they can follow along with you on tournaments, YouTube, so on and so forth, if they kind of want to check you out and see what you got going on?
Yeah, you can follow me Facebook, Instagram. Just I guess Instagram is rnye15. I have a Ryan Nye fishing Instagram that I don't post on a ton. That was my R915 one got hacked, so I made another one. But follow that one. That's the one that I kind of keep updated. YouTube is just Ryan Nye Fishing. There's a few videos on there. And then Facebook's just my name, and try to put content out quite a bit. Some tips, some tricks, tournament stuff, recaps, yada yada yada. So always there to help. And if you have questions, anything like that, feel free to reach out. But it's all kayak fishing related stuff and travel and whatnot. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
Man. It's just as good as I thought it was going to be. I appreciate you jumping on, Ryan, and the best of luck to you. And I cannot wait. And make sure that you hit up our Facebook page and get on the Outdoor Drive so that we can drop you down in the Killer's Corner. That's a super cool thing that we do. I'll tell you about that after. So, but for everybody else, go and check out Ryan. Follow along in his tournaments. Wish him luck. And for everybody else, thanks for taking the ride right here on the Outdoor Drive.